Bonjour. Sorry, my sunglasses just getting a little wear and tear from being out here all day at the Louvre. Bonjour mes amis, bonjour, bienvenue chez nous, le Perspective Académique. On est là encore. We're here again with bringing in a couple of our shoutcasters, les shoutcasters, je sais pas comment on le dit en français. But we're gonna go ahead and bring in Rafa and Joshi. And we're going to see how good their storytelling. I don't know why Mark is hiding.
Because you had the sunglasses.
Peekaboo!
You had the sunglasses on. I wanted to cover my eyes.
Is that your way of doing it?
I wear my sunglasses at... No. Anyways, we are going to be doing and testing your storytelling here today. All right, Rafa. Joshi, tried and true veteran of the French, whatever this is. You have your gold stars. You have your medals. You're good, all right? You know how this goes. But Rafa, I'm going to need to break it down for you, all right? I'm going to show you a couple pictures. With each picture, you're going to have to tell us a very classy, very posh story of the team that I give you, which I'll break that down to you later. But just so you know, just your storytelling skills are going to be put to the test and judged by everyone here at the Louvre. We're going to go ahead and move on.
It's a lot of pressure, man.
No pressure, all right?
Yeah,
no pressure.
That sounds like the very opposite of no pressure.
It's okay, Mark. You have to remember the French are known for being very forgiving judges.
So forgiving. So absolutely, that's exactly what they're known for.
That does not add up.
Absolutely. I don't know where you. Yep. We're gonna move on to number one. All right. So Joshi, you're gonna be storytelling from the perspective of Immortals Academy. So we're gonna go ahead and start this off. All right.
I don't think I can do limericks again, but we'll see what we can do. All right. It's a little bit small, but once upon a time, there was a young mid laner named Pretty. And while he tried to defend his tower, along came a couple of monsters. The first one, a man of metal. The other one, Jarvan. And
Jarvan? Just by name?
Jarman. The metal man and Jarman came around and pushed him away from the turret, so he was not able to defend his homeland. But as the monsters started encroaching into the village, we get to see that later on Pretty builds himself a big old packet of bombs that he carried around beneath him the entire time. And while the golem that they had brought to life in order to try and defend the village actually kind of inched itself a little bit, Pretty with all the bombs that he had built was able to create a lot of space. And unfortunately for them, they tried to stay really far away, and Pretty had told all the other villagers, it's okay. I shoot them from very far. They will never hurt you. But Pretty was a liar. A dirty liar. A pretty little liar, if you will. And Pretty was unfortunately unable to defend the village, and the monsters won. The end.
Okay,
don't tell that to your kids at night.
All right, our tried and true veteran. I like it. Good job. You get an A+.
A+, let's go.
A+. All right, now for you. I'm going to be real critical with you, Rafa. Are you watching me? You looking at me? You better... You and Cubby.
I'm looking at you.
He came in here as a storyteller of NA. Now you. Let's see what you got.
I'm ready.
Let's see what you got.
Let's go.
We're going to see what you got.
Show me what you got.
Right. No, just gotta do some producing on my side.
Moves.
All right.
Let's go.
All right, we're gonna throw up the first scene.
Okay, wait for the scene. Okay. So check this out. There's a little ragtag crew. They're pretty fly, And one of the things is that they've been kind of down in the dumps. They've been looking for scraps. They've been trying to really find ways to really keep themselves afloat. They're not doing too hot right now. One could say they're winless. But FlyQuest suddenly, off the back of massive team fight coordination and just a huge splunk of damage, they're just rallying around like the ragtag crew they are, and they're saying, oh man, there's this big, beefy, undead zombie dude. It's okay, because we got the power of friendship and some type of divine being on our side, And FlyQuest, this fly crew, finally pushing through all of their hardships, all of their difficulties, come out on top against a team that once thought that they were unkillable. One could say immortal, but they were proven wrong.
Oh, bravo, mon ami. Il a utilisé le nom, il a fait tous les caractères. Oh, c'était
Utilizing their
trop
names
bien.
and the character.
go.
Yeah.
Good job. You know French. I just need to start like teaching you guys French, and we'll just have a full French stream. Why
That'd
not?
be good.
I'm down for that. Better than
Do well.
Duolingo.
Great. Good job, guys. I like your storytelling. I'm a little sad you didn't rhyme again, Joshi,
Okay.
but I can't hold you to that standard every time.
I'll tell you what. Next time, Mazel, we do this, I will rap it for you.
All right. I'm holding you to that. Clip it. Put it in the bank. I'm holding it. Guys, the Louvre is about to be closing. I got to go. I got my stuff in there. I got to put whatever it is that I just grabbed out of the storage area back. So take it away, guys. Do whatever you were going to do. All right. Bye. Bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Mazel. Or actually, that's technically not Mazel, right? Because it's some
Isn't it Messel?
Messel.
Messel?
Is that the dude from the Louvre? Because then when our host Mazel comes back, it's not the
Yeah.
same guy, you know. So
Right. They look pretty similar, but I'm pretty sure it's an evil twin.
Yeah. Oh, an evil twin. Are we talking about
twin.
like, what if type of evil twin?
No,
No.
not even what if. It's just there are just two of them.
Oh God. Well, that's
Yeah.
a scary reality we live in. Hey, that's
I'm
our
back.
host
I'm
Mazel.
back. Yeah.
The good
well,
one.
guys, it was a weird break. There was some like interference or something. I started hearing French for some reason. I got a baguette on my counter in my kitchen. Who knows? Anyways, guys,
Hell
we
yeah,
got a heck of a game 2 to get to. That game 1, very fun. I do want to get your guys' quick thoughts and transition those thoughts into the game 2. So Rafa, go ahead.
Well, FlyQuest not only proved me wrong, but also giving more points for Joshi to really bully me.
Loyota the dragon is
I
strong.
told you guys.
The sleeping dragon prevails once again. Dragon fire emoji. Let's go.
That's pretty much. I'm pretty sure that's how their entire feedback at the end of the game went. Is just Leona just looked around and just said, and just breathed
Dragon
fire.
fire. All right, I like
got three
the big analytical breakdowns for FlyQuest going into game 2. It's some serious hard-hitting analytics there.
That's what we're here for, right? You just gotta look at this team and say like, yes, Dragon Fire. I think we need a little bit more of that in the next game. And
All right, but then how about the other side? What do you got for the Immortals, the legendary characters of Rafa's
Dude, Immortals
story?
not really living
What
up
do
to
you got?
their name. They're looking pretty mortal right now.
They are.
It's unlucky. But
It's a couple bad days.
okay. Jokes aside, I will say this. I think FlyQuest, I can only give them props for just really having one cohesive identity going into this game, and they were really cognizant of where they needed to be in terms of positioning around the dragon pits and just navigating even against some of the more difficult and threatening pieces like package placement, because aside from the one dive bomb that Pretty had off the back of a rocket grab, the other packages never really got a chance to be that effective against FlyQuest.
I think that's going to be really telling as we look towards our next game, because I felt like all of Immortals, their lane phases went totally fine. But it was a lot harder for them to figure out how they were actually going to get these fights started. And with so much pressure being exerted by Spyrax, once he started picking up a couple of kills, he picked up a turret for himself, he did a lot of damage with the Chaos Storm, it becomes so much more difficult for the limited front line of Immortals to actually create enough space so that Pretty can not just hit with rockets, but also hit with auto attacks.
It is going to be interesting as we are ready for game number 2, our final game of the day. So, fellas, take it away.
Numero dos of the series.
Niban
Oh,
of the series.
is that that's Japanese, right?
That is number 2.
Huge. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I was able.
There we go. A trilingual, quadlingual cast, because English is also a language,
Yeah.
turns out.
It's fun to sprinkle in some more languages throughout the broadcast. As you know, that's kind of the beautiful thing about NA overall, is we have players coming in from different regions of the world as well, and so that means there's going to be speaking in many different ways and bringing in different cultures. So any way that we can facilitate that is always
See
a
if
plus
any of
in
our
my
players can teach us Canadian.
We must all make our choices.
I really love the rapport that we have, where I will say I will spend the entire time talking about like how you're supposed to play League of Legends, and I will just say something so inanely stupid that Mark will just be like, "What is happening?"
It's because normally I expect me to be saying the dumb stuff. But then Josh just throws me a curveball, and it's like, see, this is why I love being friends with Josh, because he keeps me on my toes. But also keeping us on our toes is this ban phase, because so far we haven't really seen any huge deterrence or changes apart from obviously Immortals saying, Yuji, we're taking away the Jarvan from you. The Cataclysm is a powerful tool, and we need to challenge and see if you can pull out the same amount of success on a different champion this time around.
Yeah, and we also have to note that these two teams have swapped sides. Remember earlier in the day we were saying that red side has insane, at the beginning of the day, it was 66% of the time they were winning. And Concept, with such an odd champion pool and not playing a lot of the meta champions, counterpick for him is even more important than it is for a lot of our other players. And guaranteeing that he's going to have a counterpick going up against Philip is going to help out their ability to play through the top side quite a bit. So Immortals should be looking pretty strong in this spot, but with the Phil's already going over, Tomo finding himself a very comfortable champion.
I imagine that Jinx should be locked in pretty soon here for Immortals Academy. Maybe not necessarily... you know what? I need to have confidence! I knew it was coming! And then Thresh.
You got it.
Yeah. Jinx, Thresh, standard bot lane. Nothing too surprising out of the gate here. FlyQuest now, they have a chance to lock in either the Xin Zhao for UG away from Chad, or they can also go for Lee Sin, another pretty powerful early game skirmisher, and has some utility. Not as easy to execute as the other two champions like Jarvan and Xin Zhao, but if you've got the mechanics to pull off the Dragon's Rage insects, go for it, baby.
Okay. We're getting two very similar compositions from the first game as the second game so far. Spyrox going back to the Victor. Corki is still available for Pretty. If Diamond wants to go for the Blitzcrank here, it would be the same bottom lane as they had in the first game. And, Diamond had an okay game, right? It wasn't particularly flashy. He wasn't finding all kinds of hooks. We aren't ready to give him a Mad Life award for that one just quite yet. But he's willing to go back to it because he wants to win that gold medal.
Huge. Well,
Gold Mad
Hook
Life
versus Hook, rocket grabs. Last time around, FlyQuest waited until the second part of the pick and ban phase before securing this pick. But, for them, they're saying, you know what? We need this X Factor. We need this constant threat. Always making sure that Immortals Academy can't be too comfortable on the front lines. And Chad, we're dipping down into the Lee Sin, man.
The first wrinkle in the compositions coming up with this Lee Sin, and it does create a very different style of play, right? Like, it's much more mobile, and you have a lot more freedom to pick and choose the fights and skirmishes that you go for with the Lee Sin than you typically do as the Xin Zhao, because Xin Zhao goes in and he doesn't have a lot of ability to get out, whereas Chad, now on the Lee Sin, can go in and be like, nah, I don't feel like it. Hop over a wall and say that, we're done here. You're not going to be able to fight me anymore, Eugene.
And Immortals also getting rid of one of the few answers into the Lee Sin matchup for jungle-wise, and also just prevents any counterplay of members that are trying to dive onto FlyQuest with that Poppy ban. But FlyQuest still unrelenting in this ban of Concept's Urgot, as I don't think we have seen that champion make it through the ban phase in most of these Immortals games yet.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, Concept and Lorem, two of the Urgot players that oftentimes come to mind, and I would not be surprised, again, if this was a Trundle, just because it is such a weird champion, and a lot of people don't necessarily have a lot of experience into this champion top lane. But Concept still has a lot of time left to figure out what it is he wants to play, and I'm expecting that after this ban, we're probably going to see Pretty go right on back to the Corki, because he felt pretty unpunished during the laning phase. Like, the Corki Victor matchup was not the problem. They just weren't able to continue the fight and continue finding advantages after the early laning phase.
I mean, a lot of the advantages that FlyQuest garnished through those fights. Whoa, this... Yeah, I'm right there with you. That's... Well, Mundo, a little flash,
Mundo.
And maybe respect for Concept. I don't take Phil to be a Mundo player. Normally, we expect it to be on the other side of the map. And now FlyQuest do have to blind a top laner for Phil this time around, but he felt pretty damn confident on this Aatrox. Gonna run it back.
I mean, he looked good There's not a whole lot more to say about it. This time there's a little bit more crowd control that he has to deal with, right? Because Pretty now on the Twisted Fate instead of on the Corki does have that gold card, but you're trading off a little bit of crowd control for a lot of damage. Corki does a crazy amount of DPS, and it comes in as a lot of burst as well, which can cut through the healing in ways that Twisted Fate typically won't be able to. So we have to see how Immortals are actually going to be dealing with this, and the Scion coming through once again, it's not a bad matchup for the lane, but I'm really worried for how they'll actually be able to deal with this Aatrox. They have to be able to kite him really effectively, and as long as you have these two melee champions and a Thresh that Aatrox can kind of feast on, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But the Wukong coming through for concept at this point, going to be creating a ton of crowd control in the middle of the fight, and that might be enough for him to actually win this lane and crush down Philip's Aatrox.
I was about to say, too, the fact that Pretty is going towards Twisted Fate, we don't necessarily consider him to be a primary source of damage the later the game goes on. It's all about utility, setting up for others. But if it had been a Scion lock-in, then really the only damage source that you have for or a reliable damage DPS is just from Arrow. And if you are ever in a situation in a fight where Arrow is the first target down, oh, that fight is so doomed for Immortals Academy. So them being able to make sure that there's at least 2 threats on this side of the squad ensures that if one goes down, there's always a backup to save the fight later.
So the big thing that I'm going to be paying attention to here is how are they going to be building in order to have enough damage to actually blitz through this front line and attack the back line. Because if you go with like moderately tanky builds on this Wukong and the Lee Sin, you're not going to be able to get through the Aatrox, so he's just going to be healing through all of it. You need to find early Grievous Wounds, you need to find damage to punch through it, and you need to find enough burst to actually allow your AD carry to reset. This is on the Jinx. You need to get that first kill, and there's not that much burst on this roster.
And you know what's something very interesting about Pretty going back to something like a Twisted Fate, which is more of a facilitator rather than an actual carry, is this is the setup that Immortals Academy used to run a lot when they had Anda and Viper on this roster from last split. Pretty, in talking with their coach at the time, Jensen, they had Pretty spoken admirably about Pretty was, you know what, he's a role player. He's willing to play for the team, and even though he has the individual skills and abilities to be a huge damage source, a huge carry in his own right, as we saw clearly in his Kassadin game yesterday, that he is also willing to support and facilitate others on the map. And because they're leaning in and making sure that Concept can be playing more of a carry role rather than the straight up tank like they did in game 1 of Scion, this is going to show us a different look for Immortals in game 2.
Yeah. Oop. Blind Hook, not quite kind of find Concept that time around, but not necessarily showing off anything just quite yet. Now, the big thing that I do want to kind of zoom in on this game is our primary carry is going to be Arrow. And a number of us were expecting that Arrow is going to be looking really good at the start of the season. And this is going to be potentially one of his most difficult tests. So one of the toughest games for him to actually try and carry due to the amount of pressure that is going to get put onto him. And so my question to you, Rafa, Dr. Alpha, would you be willing to say that Arrow is up to the task?
I don't like this.
You don't like it?
No.
You don't like tests?
Yeah. There's a reason why I started shouting at video games. Instead of... I didn't want to continue further into the...
You're not a real doctor?
No! I don't have a doctorate degree. I Come on, man.
You're trying to dox your... I could tell. You were, like, about to dox yourself there, but...
I was about to reveal some personal information, and I was like, wait. Is this what you were trying to get at, Josh? You're trying to get personal information? Are you going to steal my bank account as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, already have.
What?
Do you think I would tell you my secret plan if there was any possibility that you would stop it?
Josh, why? How could you do this to me? And Immortals Academy bot lane getting a little frisky. Rocket grab on a Joey. It's a lot of damage onto the support for Immortals so far. One way to open up the 2v2 experience for both of these laners here. But now Joey and Arrow pushing forward because they're about to hit level 2. Tomo Diamond gonna respect it.
Yeah, they can count. You always got to count the number of minions that are about to die. It's the third melee minion in the second wave that will give bottom lane both of their level 2s. And it is such a large advantage, but the death sentence going wide means that FlyQuest should be able to escape the early game punishment that would provide.
Now, if we're going to be putting Concept onto something like a Wukong, it does mean that Chad should be playing towards the top side of the map, but he finds a little bit of a loop-de-loop. He's going to land the Sonic Wave onto Spyrex, but Yuji will be here, and Chad just means that he has to safeguard away.
That's a lot of discipline actually coming out from Chad to just go in for the damage and be like, yep, we're good here. And again, any damage you put onto laners sticks a lot harder. Okay, the double hook.
Oh, nice. And a flash away from Joey, but it's FlyQuest that will reign supreme, and first blood goes to them.
There you go. Well, it's not Arrow that is crumbling to the first question on this test. It was, in fact, Joey. And the first blood going over to Diamond is always nice because it's now going to your side and not the other side of the map. But not going to be the most impactful thing in the world. The biggest thing is that Arrow now pushed off of a lot of gold and experience because it looks like Tomo setting up a pretty heavy freeze. So clearly Arrow won't be able to do the same kind of studying in order to be ready for the rest of this game. But the game is still far from over. We still see that there's opportunities doing pretty decently here in the mid lane. And as long as he's able to get some of the roams off like we saw previously in the first series of the day, Pretty could be very impactful in this map.
Yeah, Copy can do it. Definitely Pretty can as well. Nice side step from Diamond. Dodging out on the hook, and now he answers back. Remember, there's no flash available from Joey, but Tomo wants to maintain this freeze, not necessarily sacrifice all of the resources. Gets a nice bit of damage down onto Joey, and Chad is here onto the bottom side of the map. Yuji on the opposite side. They're setting up for a dive, but with the recall, looks like they just want to get the crash in and allow Philip to reset.
Okay, Concept will be able to farm most of this underneath the turret, and Chad will be going in for, you know, a couple of chicken nuggets as well. So the early counter jungling that we saw Yuji do up against Chad is going to be nullified in the extended sequence. But the big thing that we're going to have to watch is, so far, Pretty and Chad moving down together, getting a little bit of pressure, but not necessarily converting it into a kill just quite yet. That's going to be what we're going to have to pay attention to as Pretty gets towards level 6, looking for more of these opportunities to actually find these kills, especially on the bottom side of the map, so you can get Arrow ahead.
And Concept did stay in lane to maintain a little bit of a freeze here, and Philip's just taking the walk back to lane. He's coming with a Bramble Vest, trying to cut down on the healing from Concept in this lane, as I believe it's the crushing blow from his Q does allow him to sustain a partial percentage of the damage. But because of that, Immortals, they have prio in this bot lane, and it's first Dragon towards their side.
First Dragon going to be going over to Immortals. Very exciting. Again, another way for them to continue building up. But I do have to, you know, let you know, Mark, that there is no native healing in Wukong's kit.
Oh, no.
Except for the, yeah. I mean, he gets max health regeneration around enemy champions. But, you know, it's just really good to have a Bramble Vest against champions that do most of their damage through auto attacks, right? You force them to do damage themselves, and the bit of armor gives you a lot of extra effective HP to play with, and Philip very happy to do that, as he is going to be dodging away from a lot of the damage that Concept
Pretty has
is
the
going to
flash.
put in.
Flashing immediately away from the gravity field. Nice trap there, set from Spyrex and Yuji. But the Poons are maneuvering, and now Pretty down to Summoner Spell.
And also stifling a lot of the pressure that Pretty was looking to have up to the top lane. You see that Chad was already getting ready for this dive. Chad, I mean, he's here. There's level 6s on both Concept and Philip, but Yuji's also on his way.
There's a little bit more armor towards Philip's side, and the World Ender is going to keep him alive a little bit for now. Has the flash away. Cyclone,
Here's
first
Yuji.
cast use as well. Concept, no mana available. Still has flash, but Chad might be in a bad spot alongside Concept. He's able to safeguard away, but a flash from Yuji secures the 3-talon strike, and that's another kill for FlyQuest.
Okay, down in the bottom lane. Pretty coming down.
2v2, 3v2, Pretty. Can he find the gold card on to Tomo now? Popping the NOS button. Ghost giving a little bit more movement speed, but it's going to be Immortals just trying to clear out this wave and allowing Arrow to reset.
Now, Mark, did somebody predict a 2-0 for FlyQuest today?
I don't want to talk about it. Oh, but wait a minute!
Did somebody predict a 2-0?
No! Gold card comes out. Tomo flashing forward, making sure that Pretty will go down. Arrow's going to now pick up the resets. Diamond will be traded back, and a 2v1 should allow for Arrow to have the natural advantage here, but no Super Mega Death Rocket available because he's not level 6 yet. Looking for the zap, gets the slowdown. Death Sentence goes a little bit wide. Just one more rocket, but Arrow cannot close the distance, and Tomo will make it out alive.
Oh my gosh, is Yuji here? Is Yuji going to find a couple more kills? Tomo's sticking around. He's going to be baiting Arrow and Joey in, but they are too smart. They know there's no way this guy sticks around if there's not a Yuji in his back pocket. So, 3-1 overall in kills currently in favor of FlyQuest Academy, and Tomo going to be able to pick up most of this wave, and it will also give Diamond an opportunity to roam once this is now pushing back towards Immortals side of the map. So Pretty is going to have to be really careful about his willingness to push up in this next wave.
It's not a huge gold advantage for the side of FlyQuest, but once again, they're off. They're the ones that are on the better foot in the early game, which is something that normally we would associate with Immortals Academy. And Diamond, they're going to roam towards the mid lane. Chad picks up the Scuttle Crab. There's 3 on 2 at the moment, so Diamond and Spyrex just want to push in this wave, look for a time to reset together as a family. Always got to do things in groups, you know, and make sure that you're doing things safely.
There you go. Practice Safe League, and we have a lot of members of FlyQuest moving towards the top side of the map, and with both Tomo and Diamond hovering up there and them seeing Arrow on the bottom side, it's a lot harder for IMT to do anything. Joey's alone. Chad's close.
I mean, Tomo can always collapse here as well. Chad gets the Dark Passage into the Safeguard, gets quite a bit of damage, but now Chad has no way out, has to flash away, but Tomo's right there for the Moonlight Vigil, and Immortals Academy will be punished.
If Pretty had his ultimate up, I would have liked that play. But he doesn't, and now Diamond is fairly low, but they're going to look for a dive.
Gold card at the
no
ready.
Flash Diamond.
Huh. Immortals were like, okay, we're ready, and then suddenly, never mind. This is no longer a great play.
In principle, I like the ideas, though, right? They're just missing out on a couple things. Again, if Pretty has his ultimate, if they were a little bit closer and a little bit faster to the play, it probably would have been good. But timing windows in League of Legends are so important. They are really everything about what allows you to make any of these plays. And now, after shoving everything in, we see that Arrow and Joy a little bit ahead of Tomo and Diamond in terms of CS, but it is such a small lead that realistically most of this lane is being determined by the fact that Tomo flashing forward earlier to get the kill onto Chad is going to be even more.
Joey wants to go for a play. Flash forward with the Dark Passage into the flight. Death Sentence connects as well. Tomo trying to survive, and it's just too much damage that FlyQuest are putting out against Immortals, and they overestimate their ability to win the 2v2.
I'm really curious which of these two guys is baiting the other, because it's very clear that one of them wants to be going for the fights, and they aren't always ready. They aren't always waiting to things like, wait, what happens if somebody else is here? And that's another time that that's happened. Tomo and Diamond now going to be taking a lot of damage here, and with Yuji coming down to also hit the turret, is going to be at least 4 plates going down in favor of FlyQuest.
A massive swing over to Tomo as well. He's just pulling further and further ahead in the matchup. Rift Herald also coming down means that there's going to get even more plating golds as well. Chad, can he get out? Ignite was ticking down on him, but nice Dark Passage from Joey's going to keep him alive, but he's chunked now down to 200 HP, so he can't stay for long. It looks like, thankfully for him, the FlyQuest aren't either.
Okay, Tomo and Diamond, I mean, we've constantly praised these guys as some of the veterans, some of the longest tenured players for this FlyQuest roster, and now they're actually starting to come alive. They are turning our prediction of Arrow being one of the best players in Academy kind of on its head, as they're consistently able to beat them in these 2v2 fights, and is also going to reward them with a dragon as well. FlyQuest equalizing there, and meaning that the 2,000 gold lead really the only major difference between these teams.
Yeah, if you told me that we would have seen an opener from FlyQuest where there's 5-1 against Immortals Academy going into this week, I mean, I'd have no real response and just think you were trolling, but it's a great turnaround. A lot of surprises so far on the B stream today for Academy this week. Now, I'm definitely a big fan.
Joey's level 5.
Joey wants to look for a play, though, onto Philip. He still has Flash available. Cyclone gets one knockup. What the heck? Philip just does too much damage. Now Diamond is here to match the roam as well. And Concept and Chad can't do anything about it. They just have to retreat and succeed the wave.
I feel like I said almost everything at the beginning of that fight. Joey is level 5. Philip is level 9. That is an absolute crap ton of extra stats that Philip has that Joey is just going to be missing. And it means that after Concept uses the ultimate, it's really hard for him to even stay here. They don't necessarily know how many people are hiding on the other side of this wall. And Chad, sticking around, is going to be devoting his time trying to prevent a dive that is never coming.
Do you sense a desperation in these attempts? And that it's not necessarily needed? Or are they merited here, Josh?
both. I was really preparing myself for a disturbance in the forts reference, but yeah, I feel like Immortals have to feel a little bit desperate at this point. The members of FlyQuest are so strong in this mid game.
Diamond has locked up Arrow, but no one is really there to follow up on the damage, and so Diamond might be caught out here now that the multiple members of Immortals have made their collapse available. Tomo throws out a Moonlight Vigil, but Diamond's already gone, but flash forwards from Yuji wants to secure these kills to make sure that the trade is not against them. Tomo, Gale Force will flash out both of Arrow's summoner spells as well. They lose out on Diamond, but they will have control of this jungle quadrant.
Diamond going very aggressive there. Very surprisingly aggressive, not respecting how quickly Immortals was going to be able to collapse on that. And that's kind of what we've been seeing a little bit from Diamond on this Blitzcrank. He's been very, very willing to go for plays, and not all of them have been in keeping in mind where everybody on the opposing team actually is. But as FlyQuest are able to pick up multiple spots on the map, it's going to be difficult for them to actually get onto Tomo.
And we're going to see a replay come out as... Okay. Thankfully, nothing happened on live. Diamond, yeah, just a little too far forward here.
Yeah. Okay, well, we do have the replay coming through, and it does end up resulting in a 1-for-1 as both Spyrex and Yuji forced to flash forward and trade a couple of flashes with their opponents, but it is just a 1-for-1. And during the replay, you might have missed it, there was, in fact, a hook that lands onto a blue buff, but Tomo cleansed it anyway, so respect that he was willing to go for that and just say, like, hey, I don't know if this is going to hit me, but I can't risk allowing it to stick around at all.
And Tomo just burning both of their summoner spells, making sure that they don't get caught out. Immortals Academy now find themselves at a 3,000 gold deficit. You know, dragons are even, but this is where, in Immortals, I don't know if this is where they need to kind of slow down the game and just allow time for Arrow to be built up, or if they're really on a timer compared to someone like FlyQuest as, I mean, they definitely feel like playing, and they know that Tomo does not have any summoner spells. Beautiful punish. It's one shutdown for Arrow. He's got the resets going, and Yuji is separated from the rest of his team. He takes out Joey, though, because he's still massively underleveled. Yuji's going to make them pay for it, but it's still a double for Arrow.
All right, double for Arrow this time. I was just about to say, we haven't necessarily seen a whole lot from Pretty's Twisted Fate, and then immediately afterwards, instant 2 more kill participation really started on the fact that Tomo doesn't have any summoner spells. So suddenly, Arrow going to be a little bit further accelerated into the game, has completed Kraken Slayer already, and I was about to say, I don't think Immortals can afford to let this game go long, Mark. I think they really need to start making plays, and before I even have a chance to do it, they make their first one.
A concept might be setting up for Joey once again. Now, Philip has World Ender avail. Oh,
he's just.
Oh my, Mochinderu. Pretty just shows up right behind Philip. None of us were expecting it. We were so focused on the collapse from Joey, and suddenly Pretty's just there.
I don't know if it's possible. If we can get a cinematic of that, of Pretty just like showing up out of the side, that would be one of the best things I have ever seen a League of Legends broadcast.
Dude just emerged from the shadows, man, like an assassin.
I didn't realize he was there. I had no idea. I was busy talking about everything else, but he had to have teleported down to the pink ward. So big play is starting to come out from IMT, and really impressed suddenly with the way that Pretty has been able to play the last couple of minutes, and punishing all of the strong members of FlyQuest because they are not moving together as a group just quite yet means that Immortals, while they're still down, are absolutely not out. But with Pretty on the far side of the map, FlyQuest should feel very comfortable picking up this Ocean Dragon.
All right, well.
Smite.
Oh. Chad yoinking the crab away. A small victory for the jungler of Immortals Academy. Yep, little slurp. Yuji, though, is going to slurp up this dragon, though, real quick. And this is going to put them at 2 points away from Soul, which is going to be an Ocean Soul. And that's always a really nice dragon to have on your side the later the game goes on, as Diamond... Oh no! Oh, no!
Oh, my God. I need to know what Diamond was thinking in that moment. Did he expect somebody to be there? He was probably thinking that Chad was doing Gromp.
And then he finds a Thresh instead.
Finds a Joey. That one's way easier to take down. So, good heads up from Diamond to not have a slow reaction. Just go like, oh, instantly hooking somebody over the wall, and ends up looking great doing it, and also buying a lot of time for Spyrax once again in the side lane. Not as easy going to be going into the Wukong as it was into the Scion previously, but still very excited, and they're pinging the teleport. Looks like they might be looking for a dive.
Oh, but Chad says
Oh.
no dive today. It's an easy ward hop kick flash that punishes Tomo.
There we go, looking like Rose Thorn last week in the
True.
Woo Poggers moment of the week.
Woo!
Woo Poggers.
Shout outs to Cubby for making that content piece. Rift Herald gonna slam into this tier 1. It's gonna break open the map here, and a nice death sentence. Okay,
it's chain picks.
Immortals Academy. They're starting to find their footing. They're starting to find their momentum, and they're just catching out FlyQuest members one by one. And if they continue chaining this together, Immortals seem to be regaining their footing now.
Ugh, looking like a moment out of SKT Season 3 right there, where they just find member after member, pick after pick, and reward SKT with an inhib, but this time it's only going to be 2 turrets off of constantly fighting all of this crowd control. And so far, Immortals have clawed their way back in. They are now ahead in gold as we get to see a beautiful kick coming out from Chad. And with no flash still on Tomo, not a lot of counterplay available for this one. Once he gets kicked, it is lights out for him, and that's all you really needed to see. It was just Chad going for yet another beautiful kick, showing why he has earned a spot on the Academy roster.
And also for Immortals Academy, when we considered what type of X factors would they be bringing in to kind of find their momentum again in the second game after dropping it to FlyQuest Academy. Now Diamond, obviously he's the X factor on the Blitzcrank, but Chad making a conscious decision of not going for the Xin Zhao once again, but for the Lee Sin. You have to then look for those angles, find those plays for kick flash insects, because they're usually a little harder to react to. As Arrow, he's going to get pulled, and it's a massive shutdown for FlyQuest and Diamond. They have the numbers advantage, and no threat available from Immortals to really answer back.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Pick into counter pick. What we just saw happen for Immortals could very easily happen right on back to them, but FlyQuest not willing to take that opportunity to try and push and fish for more hooks. Instead, going to be going back into their side of the jungle, and Pretty pushing up is potentially at risk here, but he does know that people are around.
Doesn't have Destiny quite yet.
No ultimate.
Everfrost lands on Spyrax. Can he buy enough time? A teleport is going to come in from Concept. Will they turn to fight this one around? Cyclone is available. It's a lot of damage out already from the burst, but
Everybody's coming. Watch the rocket.
Concept, you might have to get out, brother. But Joey is also here for reinforcements just to make sure that everyone has a safe ride home.
Okay, well that's definitely worthwhile for Immortals, because Philip was not hitting this turret during that entire sequence. Didn't know where enough members were, and not going to be getting any damage down onto the structure. So it is just effectively a teleport for Flash burn, and teleport has a shorter cooldown than Flash at this point in the game. So Immortals going to be very happy with this next couple of fights, and with no flash on Spyrax, we saw what Chad can do to Tomo. See if he can do it to the mid lane as well.
Could also just be any person that is able to pick out Spyrax here. Death sentence from Joey. He's had a lot of deaths this game, unfortunately, for the side of Immortals Academy, but he's still fishing. He's still being on the aggressive, and Diamond, he's going to be slow for a bit. He pulls in Chad. Can FlyQuest really punish? Oh, whoa. That's a lot of burst damage that just came out from the FlyQuest members. And now Immortals have to be on the retreat. Concept comes in with a... But he has to also look away. Dark Pass is chunking him out. Spyrax just pumping out so much damage on this Victor.
Concept didn't have his ultimate for that fight. A little bit surprised they were willing to go for the flank. The hook onto the clone. Okay.
It's okay.
Far side of the map, though. Watch this. Pretty coming into contact with Philip.
Oh, no!
Oh,
Pretty couldn't flash out of the Infernal Chains range, and now Philip should have enough movement speed to lock him down. The flash forward just to guarantee before the gold card came through. Nice solo kill picked up for FlyQuest.
Yeah, flash for flash guarantees them this Ocean Dragon on the far side of the map. And what did FlyQuest want to do? It looks like they're going to be trying to push in both of the lanes as well, leaving Yuji to do this all by himself. But he is A-okay to do this. The only thing that they need to be careful of is not getting jumped on anywhere else on the map. So FlyQuest, again, going back to a small lead, but the bigger point is they are now one dragon away from the Ocean Soul, which is going to be a massive problem. You're noticing that there's not a lot of Grievous Wounds coming out from Immortals just quite yet. The only that exists is Concept's Bramble Vest, and I'm going to let you guys know that is not enough for the amount of healing that is going to be coming out from FlyQuest over the next couple of minutes, and absolutely not enough if they ever pick up the Ocean Soul.
We're going to take a look at this replay, though, as... Oh,
Sad.
that's so sad for Pretty.
It's one of those like recall things, right? Where if you get him in the last moment, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Except this time, the last moment goes in favor of the Aatrox. So Pretty without the flash, suddenly a lot less engaged threat coming out from the Twisted Fate, as well as a lot less safety. And we're seeing that at the same time, FlyQuest starting to choke out a lot of the vision that was available to Immortals in order to create more space for the Blitzcrank to play.
Gold lead is still only 2,000 in favor of FlyQuest, but they are now on Soul Point, which they can contest in the next 4 minutes. Immortals trying to get the loop around, though.
Okay. Oh.
Movement speed.
Oh.
Really
Tomo
Reverie.
has
Oh,
flash.
oh,
Oh, the hook!
The alley-oop! Diamond intercepting Pretty right in the middle, that dark passageway. And now it's FlyQuest that are on the chase. Joey should be able to fall here as well. No able
Watch
flash. And Arrow has been flanked. Philip finding a great position. A flash kick from Chad trying to protect Arrow, but it's all for naught as he still goes down to Tomo. FlyQuest. Damn if I say it, Joshi, but you may be right for the prediction on this series.
What did I say? What did I tell you? It's the script. It always is right. And this time around, we're seeing Diamond. He wasn't having a particularly exciting first game, but man, this game is he's starting to look so much better on this Blitzcrank, finding some insane hooks and rewarding them with this Baron buff. And the beautiful thing about this Baron is provided they're able to actually use it, it will be expiring right at about the same time that the Ocean Dragon is available. So they can get the quick recall off. They can get everybody onto the map incredibly quickly after building up a whole lot of gold for the members of FlyQuest. And just great stuff coming out. They have a very straightforward composition, and they're playing to their
and
strengths.
the small 2,000 gold lead that FlyQuest had for just the past few minutes suddenly exploded.
Balloon.
It's now solid 6,000. And for Immortals Academy, they're really going to have to dig deep for the next couple minutes in preparation for this Ocean Soul, because if FlyQuest secure it, oh, it's going to be so damn tough for Immortals to deal with FlyQuest for the remainder of the game.
Look at this. FlyQuest moving up towards the top side of the map, leaving Philip a little bit isolated, and look at the number of Immortal members
Okay,
here.
Destiny comes out. 4 members already committed
What do
towards
they
the bottom
lose?
side of the map. Philip will go down for this, but FlyQuest are pushing heavily through the mid lane and the top lane. They might be able to break open the inhibitor structures as well.
They get the one kill, but giving up these inhibitors and these turrets all at once, I don't know if that's worth it. FlyQuest is going to be getting so much money for just the cost of Philip, and with the inhibitor going down, they're going to be transitioning topside. Concept still has his ultimate, and he might have a flank.
He's thinking about it, though, but Diamond is playing Gatekeeper at the moment, making sure that he can screen Concept away from looking for a Cyclone flank. FlyQuest are able to pivot away towards the safety of the top side of the map. Dragon is still available in the next minute and 30 seconds, so FlyQuest's going to probably push him one wave before they look for a reset. Diamond now has to be on the run. No more rocket grab available, so Pretty with that gold card was threatening to lock him down, but Immortals are going to be able to hold on to this inhibitor tower and make sure it doesn't go down.
But they are going to be able to pick up a lot of the enemy jungle, right? They're going to take this top quadrant. Tomo able to pick up the red buff from his opponents, but moving into the mid lane, it doesn't look like they're particularly interested in actually taking this top lane turret. They more just want to make sure that they maintain position in the mid, and they need to start transitioning some of their vision to the bottom half of the map, or they could just go for some cheeky plays.
Oh, if Diamond only knew that there's members on the other side of the wall. Gold card and Everrost. It's going to slow his roll here. 50 seconds on the next dragon. They're still continuing to make this push onto the top side of the map, trying to get as much damage into this tower before they rotate on over to the pit. Philip. Okay. He's fine.
Bonk, bonk. Ding dunk. Roster's ready.
Oh god!
There they go on him again.
Whoa! Philip, no more reinforcements available. Now it's a numbers advantage for Immortals. They have to punish right here. They need to make sure that they get a huge win off of this fight before the Ocean Dragon comes up. Yuji has already gonna... Well, no, he's not going down quite yet. Steric's Gauge, massive shield, super mega death rocket from Arrow, and FlyQuest are just brute forcing their way onto the inhibitor despite being down in numbers at the moment. This is insanely bold from FlyQuest, but they have the damage and they have the guns available for Tomo to keep everyone at bay. Look, they're in the middle of the base, but Immortals can't really go for the collapse quite yet because they know that the damage is too much from Tomo.
Oh my gosh, Tomo creating so much pressure at the moment. The gold card instantly
right onto Pretty, he has to cleanse it. Gonna look away, and Tomo will be able to walk away from base safely. This is just so strange that FlyQuest were completely surrounded at all sides, but they were stronger than the collapse itself, and now they should be able to pick up this Ocean Dragon as well.
That's what happens when you don't have any members that can actually get fights started. The closest that I had was Pretty with the gold card, but now FlyQuest, they're here. Pretty's here as well, but he's spotted.
He's all by himself quite yet. FlyQuest still have the numbers advantage before Immortals are collapsing. Concept comes in down with the Unleashed teleport. Gold card is available, but they've picked off Joey. That's one member gone. Arrow's trying to get resets right now. Looks for Diamond, and Tomo's now onto the left side of the flank. Yuji engaging onto Arrow, forcing his flash as well. But Super Mega Death Rocket, but onto the base as well. Can Chad defend the base from falling down? 2 inhibitors have already fallen, but Tomo is going to go for it. But he goes down, and I think Immortals should be able to defend this one from going towards the way of FlyQuest for now. Ocean Soul is denied, and a beautiful objective bounty picked up as well.
An absolutely insane sequence of events, Mark, leads this game still hanging by a thread. Immortals still in it, but even with this Ocean Dragon picked up, it's not obvious that they're still going to be able to bring this game back. But you know who might have something to say about that? Arrow, 8, 2, and 4. We asked at the beginning, is he going to be a strong enough player to turn this around? He has gotten so much money over the past couple of minutes. The objective bounty going down, a number of just regular bounties also getting picked up, suddenly mean that Arrow on 3.5 items, super dangerous.
This game just got wild, Josh. For a while, this was a pretty slow game, and FlyQuest were just making slow steps forward, and then we saw the huge explosion with the Baron pickup, and now 2 inhibitors opened up, but Immortals being able to hold on for dear life. They do not want to go down in a clean sweep from FlyQuest, but they have to prepare for this upcoming Baron.
Yeah, first half very much in favor of FlyQuest, and now they're still in a dominant position, and because of all the time that was spent on the bottom side of the map, there's not that much vision available to the members of Immortals. They are now having their vision all cleaned out, and Diamond on this Blitzcrank, incredibly dangerous if you don't know where he is.
Destiny, Pretty looking for Tomo. Immediate cleanse once again. It's actually a QSS. Cyclone follow-up from Concept trying to find and engage, but FlyQuest are able to push them back. Crescent Guard was used. Pretty looking for another one, but he gets hooked right into FlyQuest! Oh no! Immortals Academy, they now have to be on the run. FlyQuest, they see the 2 sweep in their eyes, and they want it so damn badly. They want to be able to prove that they will not be sitting at the bottom of the standings. Spyrix sees the win in his eyes. A triple kill for him. Chad, the only member left alive, but FlyQuest, they see the Nexus in their peripheral vision, and they know it's going to be a victory for theirs to claim.
Oh my god, I even said it was kind of a meme, but oh my god, even look at the end, Diamond, what are you doing?
Oh my goodness!
You're gonna be able to find another one, and as the game starts to break down a little bit, we know that yet again, the game is ending. FlyQuest spend a little bit of extra time making sure they get every last minion on the field before they end up taking down the Nexus, and that is going to be a 2-0 result coming in favor of FlyQuest today. I predicted it, and even I am surprised. I am so excited for these members. They looked so good across the board, and I am just so happy that Diamond's Blitzcrank looked so good in this second game, constantly able to find picks out, and whenever somebody would step too far forward, Diamond was right there.
Yeah, because the first game, you know, it was kind of mixed results, mixed responses here, but Diamond came in with a mission. He had everyone locked on. He was predicting movements, ward hops, even dark passage safety as well. Oh, I was enthralled that entire game just from Diamond on the Blitzcrank, but also, you know, everyone from FlyQuest really stepping up here. The past few series have not been the prettiest for them, and they have not been, you know, really amounting to kind of the faith that the FlyQuest management put together for this squad, but they knew that this is a lot of new pieces coming in, and being in a jungle mid, it was going to be harder to incorporate. But it's really, really probably awesome in the FlyQuest camp right now. Morale's probably really nice for the emotions of the rest of the staff. Huge shout outs to the entire FlyQuest squad for making up a very deserved sweep over one of the more dominant teams that we saw coming out of the first week from Immortals Academy.
That's what we end up seeing, right? Academy is a learning league. We're going to be spending time figuring things out. You got to learn how to play as a team. You got to learn to play as individuals. It's going to be a long road for FlyQuest in order to get themselves towards the top, but they have already proven that they are a team that you cannot just ignore. You have to pay attention to how these guys are looking to play. And if they continue playing like this, they could rapidly claim the standings.
Yeah, multiple things for now FlyQuest to build up upon that made them so successful in this series. When we come back after this break, we should be getting an interview with one of those successful players and Mazel.
Welcome back to the post game, and I've got the one and only Philip from FlyQuest. After their first wins of the season, a 2-0 victory in a crazy fashion, man. Just give me the breakdown. How does it feel? How does it
feels
feel?
really good to get our first win. I'm still on the huge loss streak after my PG run last split, so yeah, it feels good. Feels good to get some dubs on the board.
Good. I'm glad. So then I gotta ask the next question. What made it click today? What was going right for the squad?
Yeah, I mean, going into these games, we knew we were on like a huge slump, so like it was kind of like we have nothing to lose kind of mindset. So yeah, we just went into it. I played a lot of Aatrox back in my day, so I'm really comfortable on it.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm glad I got to bust out my pocket pick for today.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was gonna ask, out of the couple that we've seen you on, what is your favorite? Do you tend towards the Aatrox as your personal favorite?
Yeah, I have a few champs that I hold in high regard in my pool, but yeah, I think
I
yeah.
like it. We'll keep the other ones
Yeah,
a secret
I
for
got
you. Make your enemies
other
fear.
weapons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I do want to break it down a little bit though. I want to talk about the communication in game for FlyQuest. What was that, especially on a day like today? What was that like? Who is that shot caller? Who is kind of leading the charge in the decision making
I mean,
process?
honestly, today, I think everyone stepped up actually, especially Spyrax, our mid laner. Jalal, he did a really good job like
Nice.
facilitating all like the what we were doing in the side lane, and yeah, it was really easy to play with him.
I like it. Is by the way, the Victor was
Yes,
very nice. Is the Blitzcrank the Dark Tech in the bot
I
lane
mean
or
yeah, he's
what?
a bit too good on Victor.
It was. Now, how has it been like for you, Philip, meshing with this team, and especially with those rough couple days, 3 days leading into the season? How has that been, kind of gearing yourselves for the rest of this split?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, we're going in with like a like quote unquote rookie topside, right? Like even though I played that,
Mm-hmm.
I got subbed in last split, I'd still consider myself kind of a rookie, maybe with a bit higher expectations, right? But yeah, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
honestly I didn't expect us to have this rocky start to start with. So or
Yeah.
yeah, but I guess having a triple rookie topside, you can kind of expect that slow start.
Yeah. Hey, you win some, you lose some. Has it been nice, finally having the coaching staff and everything in place for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, last split I was playing remote from my home. I had like 60, 70 ping. It was a
Mm-hmm.
bit unplayable. So yeah,
A little bit.
uh, yeah, I mean, feels a lot nicer to be in person. And yeah,
Yeah. So what for you, Philip? What is your personal goal this year? What is your end all be all by the end of the year?
uh, I think for Academy, there was like a wave of rookie top laners that came in, like Concepts 30, and like who else? I can't really remember, but like uh for now I'm looking at those guys, and I want to just be better than them. And yeah, and for the veteran top players in academy now, like Dokla, Viper, always look up to those guys, you know. And yeah, hopefully all of the rookie top players can eventually uh be regarded as better than them. The next wave of top laners, you
I
know.
like it, man. Hey, good. Yeah, exactly. Good aspirations there, man. Well, I'm gonna give you the stage one last little time to go ahead and shout out anybody you want to, anybody you want to talk about here, and give a little love.
Shout out to my family at home, you know, my family and friends. They're always supporting me. Shout out to C9A support, Ketong. I think he did a really good job
I
subbing
like
in
it. I
his
like
shoes.
it.
And shout out to my team, of course.
Oh, that's so awesome, Philip. Well, I look forward to seeing you grow even more and becoming one of those top laners. Thank you so much. Go enjoy this
Yeah,
dump,
first
man.
duo.
I'm so excited for you guys. Yes, let's go. All right. Well, take it easy, man. We'll see you next time on the Rift.
Thank you. See you later.
All right. I believe we're going to be bringing in our wonderful casters, les shoutcasters, coming in to finish up the day and talk a little bit about what we have going on the other stream as well. But hey, you're back. Welcome back. Great cast on the day, guys.
You speak
Mazel,
French,
I didn't know
Mazel?
you spoke French.
Oh no. Oh
That was
no.
myself.
I need to leave. I need to leave. Good thing we're at the end of the show. So, but it was an incredible day, right? Like we had back-to-back upsets. We had FlyQuest getting their first win on a 2-0. We got to talk to Keaton. We got to talk to Philip. I love these kinds of
Yeah.
days. It really just makes me feel good. Exactly.
A lot of rising talent coming up through, and I mean, I know you guys couldn't hear it, but I was so excited that Philip was able to win. He's been one of the players that I've been looking at for a long time and saying, like, he's not there yet, but he's really, really obviously grinding a lot. He's improving a lot, and I still think that this guy has a large ceiling ahead of him. He just needs to keep on with the grind, and eventually we might see him continue to level up and maybe find.
What are your thoughts on the day, Marky?
Bro.
Marky Mark? Is that an
Yeah,
okay?
dude. Yeah. Yeah. Compare me to Mark Wahlberg. I would love it, dude. Anyway, today, not just with FlyQuest, but also Cloud9 Academy, we've got upsets all aboard. I mean,
I know.
we've got the whole world upside down right now in terms of expectations.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
He actually had to do it
like
too.
what's
He's
happening?
on the next level tech, man. He's on the next level tech. I can't hang. I can't hang.
What am I supposed to do?
He's on the ceiling,
Yeah.
people. He's on the
This is
ceiling.
the only way I can actually process, how these dubs occurred. But, jokes aside, of course, shout outs to both Cloud9 Academy and Immortals or not Immortals, FlyQuest Academy, of course, because the manner in these series came to fruition for both of these teams came from really strong, unexpected team cohesion finally coming through, right? I mean, they were just finally on the same page, and they had the one focus and win con in their minds.
Indeed. Well, I do believe we have the updated schedule graphic to show everybody to see what's been going on today so far. We still have that one series left, TLA versus Dignitas Academy. But we've had not all 2-0s, all right? We got 1-1-1 in there.
Close. Yeah, a lot of decisive results over the past couple of days, right? Golden Guardians versus Evil Geniuses, the only one so far that has ended with a draw at the end of the series. And I feel like we're really starting to see a lot of movement, because one of the things that's been fascinating to watch is there hasn't necessarily been the same kind of consistency in a couple of teams just standing out from the crowd. There are obviously a couple front runners, right? CLG currently sitting at 7-1, but other than that, there is this big clump towards the middle where a lot of teams have an opportunity to move up, and with teams like Cloud9 and FlyQuest picking up some of their first wins, it's clear that the top teams aren't necessarily that far
that's what I
ahead
love.
at the moment.
In a league all about development, about growth, it is amazing to see that go from week to week, just in the first 2 weeks, right? And I always find that really fun. I do want to bring up, I believe, the schedule for tomorrow, because we get to talk a little bit. Or not tomorrow, I'm sorry, next week. Tomorrow is another day. But I do believe that we are going to be bringing that one up. And next week is looking like some fun. I am eyes all peeled for the TLA 100 Thieves match, the Dignitas Immortals match. There are just so many. So many.
There's a lot going on. I really like the TLA versus 100 Thieves simply because it is a rematch of a couple of teams that had a 15-game back-to-back-to-back triple best-of-5 series against each other at the end of last year's Proving Grounds and Academy season, and it's kind of a storied rivalry at this point, but we still need to get all of our players back in place, and I think it is going to be a fantastic opportunity to showcase how much these two teams have grown since that point, because we have a lot of players returning.
Yeah, exactly that. Rafa, I don't know if you have any takes on games for next week. You got your eyes peeled on?
I only got my eyes on you, Mizdell.
I know you're in Australia.
Is it getting hot here?
No, in all seriousness, no. I think, before the top of the before seeing the results that happened here on Stream B, I would have imagined that a lot of these matchups would have been like, okay, yeah, I can clearly see that CLG Academy are going to beat FlyQuest Academy. There's just no questions whatsoever. However, with another weekend of scrims, more practice under their belt, we don't know anymore, right? And that's kind of the fun of Academy, that at this point, teams might be lured into complacency, or they just might be coming in with an off day, right? I mean, I was so certain that Immortals Academy was going to smash FlyQuest today, and it didn't happen. In fact, it was quite the reverse. FlyQuest pulling out their first wins and first sweep as well. So at this point, every match is exciting to come out, because we just don't know what the results are going to be anymore.
That's what I love, man. That's what I love. Well, guys, it's been a pleasure being alongside you for the second week. I can't believe we're already done with week number 2. It's crazy. It's gone by so fast. But we still got one more game on the other stream. We have Team Liquid Academy taking on Dignitas Academy. So make sure you make your way over to twitch.tv/academy, and we'll see you on the Rift.